Do you ever feel lost in a sea of conflicting information, where what seems true one moment dissolves the next? We are bombarded by sights, sounds, and opinions, each demanding our attention, each claiming to be real. It's easy to feel like we're grasping at shadows, uncertain of what truly is. This feeling isn't new. It's a timeless human quest for clarity. Imagine a world where everything you perceive through your senses is only a fraction of the truth, a mere echo of a deeper reality. What if the facts we gather and the opinions we hold are just reflections, and the true knowledge lies beyond them, waiting to be discovered? This is the provocative idea we're exploring today. Our guide on this journey is one of history's most influential thinkers, Plato. He lived in ancient Athens, a bustling city of debate, yet he saw that even the cleverest arguments often missed a fundamental understanding. He questioned the very nature of knowledge, asking how we can move beyond mere belief to something more certain, more true. Plato suggested that what our senses show us is like a flickering movie, constantly changing and often deceptive. Think about it. A stick in water looks bent, an object in the distance appears smaller. Our senses can be fooled. If knowledge is to be certain and unchanging, can it truly be based on such an unreliable foundation? Beyond our senses, we also navigate a world of opinions, our own and those of others. Opinions can be strong, passionately held, and widely shared. But are they knowledge? Plato made a crucial distinction. Opinion, or doxa, is a belief that might be true or false, while true knowledge, or episteme, is justified, unwavering, and rooted in understanding. To illustrate this profound idea, Plato gifted us one of the most powerful allegories in philosophy, the allegory of the cave. Imagine prisoners chained in a cave since birth, facing a blank wall. They cannot turn their heads, and all they have ever known are shadows projected onto that wall. Behind these prisoners, unseen by them, a fire burns. And between the fire and the prisoners, there's a raised path where puppeteers walk, carrying statues and figures of animals, people, and objects. The fire casts the shadows of these objects onto the wall in front of the prisoners. For the prisoners, these shadows are reality. They talk about them, name them, and believe them to be the true forms of things. They have no other experience, no other reference point. The echoes and sounds within the cave they attribute to these flickering shadow shapes. This is their entire world, their truth. Now, consider what happens if one prisoner is freed. Imagine the pain as their eyes, accustomed only to darkness, are forced to look at the fire. The light would be blinding, overwhelming. The objects casting the shadows would seem less real than the shadows themselves, because the shadows are all they've ever known. If this freed prisoner were then dragged out of the cave, up a steep and difficult ascent into the sunlight, the experience would be even more agonizing. The outside world, illuminated by the sun, would be completely alien and incomprehensible at first. This journey represents the difficult path towards true knowledge. Plato's cave is a powerful metaphor for our own condition. How often do we accept the shadows presented to us by culture, media, or our own unexamined assumptions as the whole truth? We become comfortable in our intellectual caves, mistaking familiarity for understanding. The puppeteers in Plato's allegory can represent those who shape our perceptions, sometimes unknowingly, sometimes with intent. They might be societal norms, traditions, or even influential voices that define what is considered real or important within our particular cave. Breaking free begins with questioning. It starts with the unsettling feeling that there must be more than the shadows. It's the courage to turn away from the familiar, to challenge what everyone else accepts, even if it's uncomfortable or disorienting, like that first glimpse of the fire. The journey out of the cave is not easy. It requires intellectual effort, a willingness to be uncomfortable, and the courage to face truths that might shatter our current worldview. This ascent represents the process of education, not just schooling, but the true drawing out of our innate capacity for reason. So what lies beyond the cave, beyond the world of senses and mere opinions? According to Plato, this is the realm of true knowledge, the intelligible world, where the forms or ideas reside. These are not physical objects but perfect, eternal archetypes. Think of the concept of chairness. There are many individual chairs, wooden, metal, soft, hard, all imperfect and different. Yet there's an underlying idea, a perfect form of chair, that allows us to recognize all these varied objects as chairs. This form is not something we see, but something we understand with our mind. Plato believed that for everything in our physical world, there exists a corresponding perfect form in this higher realm. There's a form of beauty, a form of justice, a form of goodness. These forms are eternal, unchanging, and provide the true objects of knowledge. Our sensory world is just a pale imitation. How do we access these forms if not through our senses? Plato argued it is through reason, through the power of our intellect. It's a process of looking inward, of engaging in rigorous thought and dialectic, the art of philosophical discussion and questioning, to grasp these higher truths. The highest of all forms, Plato suggested, is the form of the good. Just as the sun illuminates the physical world and allows us to see, the form of the good illuminates the intelligible world and allows us to understand all other forms. It is the ultimate source of reality and knowledge. Grasping the form of the good is the ultimate goal of the philosopher, the culmination of the journey out of the cave. It's what enables one to see things as they truly are, to understand the interconnectedness of all true knowledge and the underlying order of the universe. This might sound abstract, but think about moments of deep insight you've had. Times when, suddenly, a complex idea became clear, not because someone showed you something new, but because you understood its essence, its underlying principle. Plato might say you glimpsed a form. This journey from opinion to knowledge, from shadows to forms, is not just an intellectual exercise. It's a transformation of the soul. Plato believed our souls had encountered these forms before our birth, and learning is a process of anamnesis, or recollection, remembering what we inherently know. So, how do we cultivate this ability to see beyond the senses and opinions? It begins with humility, acknowledging that what we think we know might just be a shadow. It requires an open mind and a willingness to question our most cherished beliefs. Then comes the active pursuit of understanding through reason. This involves critical thinking, logical analysis, and engaging in thoughtful dialogue with others, not to win arguments but to collectively seek truth. It's about asking why relentlessly. Consider mathematics. The concept of a perfect circle or a true triangle isn't something we find perfectly replicated in nature. We grasp these with our minds. For Plato, mathematics was a stepping stone, training the mind to think abstractly and prepare it for apprehending the higher forms. The challenge is that the world of senses is vivid and immediate. The world of opinions is loud and persuasive. It takes discipline to turn inward, to quiet the noise, and to engage the more subtle faculty of reason in this deeper way. It's a practice, a way of being. Plato's philosophy isn't about rejecting the physical world entirely, but about understanding its proper place. It's a call to recognize that there's a deeper, more stable reality that gives meaning and context to our fleeting experiences. We live in the cave, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. When you encounter a strong opinion, perhaps your own, ask, is this based on sensory experience alone? Is it a widely accepted belief? Or is it founded on reasoned understanding of underlying principles? This simple inquiry can begin to shift your perspective. Think about concepts like justice or courage. We see actions we call just or courageous, but these are instances. Plato invites us to contemplate what justice itself is, what courage itself is, their perfect, unchanging essence. This is the work of reason seeking the form. This pursuit of true knowledge isn't just for philosophers in ivory towers. It has practical implications. Understanding the form of the good, for example, helps us navigate moral choices, not by rigid rules, but by a deeper understanding of what truly contributes to well-being and harmony. The freed prisoner, Plato says, has a responsibility. Having seen the sun, the true source of light and knowledge, they are compelled to return to the cave, to try and help others see beyond the shadows, even if they are met with disbelief or ridicule. This highlights the social dimension of knowledge. True understanding isn't meant to be hoarded but shared, contributing to the enlightenment of the community. It's about elevating the collective understanding, moving society closer to reason and wisdom. Living with this Platonic understanding means cultivating an inner gaze. It means valuing moments of quiet reflection where you can examine your thoughts and beliefs, sifting through the noise to find the signals of deeper truth. It's about seeking the why behind the what. One practical way to engage with this is to constantly ask, what is the essence of this? Whether it's an object, an idea, an emotion, or a situation. Try to look past its superficial appearance or common definition and seek its fundamental nature. Don't be afraid of abstract thought. Allow your mind to wander into the realm of principles and universals. This is where the intellect strengthens its ability to connect with the forms. It's like exercising a muscle that allows you to see a different kind of reality. Embracing this perspective can bring a sense of stability. While the world of senses and opinions is constantly shifting like sand, the world of forms is eternal and unchanging. Grounding your understanding in these deeper truths can offer an anchor in turbulent times. It also cultivates intellectual honesty, recognizing the difference between what you truly understand and what is merely an opinion or belief allows for more genuine learning and growth. It opens you up to discovering your own shadows. This journey towards true knowledge, as Plato envisioned it, is lifelong. There is no final destination where all is known. Rather, it's a continuous process of ascent, of refining our reason, and striving for a deeper connection with the underlying truths of existence. So the invitation from Plato is profound: to look beyond the immediate, the sensory, the popular, to engage your highest faculty, your reason, to seek out the timeless patterns, the essential natures, the true knowledge that gives shape and meaning to our world. True knowledge, in this Platonic sense, isn't about accumulating facts. It's about a qualitative shift in understanding, a movement from being a spectator of shadows to becoming a participant in the light of reason. It's about unlocking the wisdom that lies within. Consider the world around you. How much of what you accept as real is shaped by the shadows on your particular cave wall, the common narratives, the unexamined assumptions, the constant flow of sensory data? Plato urges us to pause and reflect on this. The opinions Plato spoke of are not just casual thoughts. They are the deeply ingrained beliefs we often inherit or absorb without critical scrutiny. Unlocking true knowledge means being willing to put these beliefs to the test of reason. When Plato speaks of senses, he's not dismissing their utility for navigating the everyday world. He's highlighting their inadequacy as a sole source for understanding fundamental truths. Our senses tell us the sun moves across the sky. Reason tells us the earth rotates. The forms are not in some distant, unreachable heaven for Plato. They are the very blueprint of reality, accessible through disciplined thought. Think of beauty. We see beautiful things, but the form of beauty is that which all beautiful things share, understood by the mind. Unlocking true knowledge, then, is an active process. It's not passively receiving information. It's about engaging, questioning, analyzing, and synthesizing. It's about training your mind to see the universal in the particular. Plato's path is not about rejecting emotion or intuition. Rather, it's about ensuring that our understanding is not solely dictated by them, but is guided and illuminated by clear, rational thought that seeks the underlying, stable truth. Consider a time you deeply understood a complex problem. Was it just about memorizing facts, or did you grasp the core principles, the form of the solution? That feeling of profound clarity is a taste of what Plato describes as true knowledge. The beyond senses and opinions part of our title is key. It's a call to transcend the superficial layer of reality, not to ignore it but to see through it, to perceive the more permanent structures of understanding that lie beneath. This journey asks for intellectual courage. It's easier to stay with familiar shadows and accepted opinions. Turning towards the sun of true knowledge can be initially dazzling and even disorienting, but it is ultimately illuminating. Plato's philosophy offers a powerful antidote to the feeling of being overwhelmed by information. By seeking the unchanging forms, the essential principles, we can find a framework for organizing and understanding the chaotic flow of data. Think of a master craftsman. They don't just know techniques, they understand the form of their craft, the principles of balance, material, and function. This deeper understanding allows them to create with true mastery, beyond mere imitation. The process of dialectic, or reasoned discussion, was crucial for Plato. It's in testing ideas against each other, in honest and rigorous debate, that we can scrape away falsehoods and approach a clearer understanding of the forms. This isn't about achieving a godlike omniscience. It's about a fundamental shift in how we seek to know. It's prioritizing reason, seeking essence, and understanding that the most real things might not be the most tangible. Applying this today, when faced with a societal issue, try to look beyond the immediate reactions and popular slogans. Ask, what are the underlying principles of justice, fairness, or well-being at play here? Seek the form of the solution. True knowledge, for Plato, brings a kind of freedom from illusion, freedom from manipulation by fleeting appearances, and freedom from the tyranny of unexamined opinions. It is the freedom of a mind that sees clearly. This pursuit is deeply personal yet universally relevant. Each of us has our own cave, our own set of shadows, and each of us possesses the innate capacity for reason, the key to stepping into a greater light. The warmth in Plato's vision is that true knowledge is not cold and abstract, but connected to the highest good, which is also the source of beauty and order. Understanding, in this sense, is also an appreciation of the profound harmony of existence. Remember, this is not a destination but a direction. The unlocking is an ongoing commitment to questioning, to reasoning, and to seeking that which is timeless and true beyond the surface level of daily experience. So, as you navigate your world, try to pause and ask, am I looking at a shadow, or am I perceiving something of its true form? Am I holding an opinion, or have I reasoned my way to understanding? This is the Platonic invitation. The path Plato lays out is challenging but deeply rewarding. It promises not just information but transformation, a way to see the world and ourselves with greater depth, clarity, and wisdom. A journey beyond senses and opinions towards true knowledge. This quest for true knowledge is not about rejecting our humanity, but about elevating it. Our senses and emotions are part of us, but Plato encourages us to let reason be our guide, illuminating our path rather than being led by fleeting impressions. Consider the noise of the digital age, countless opinions, endless streams of sensory input. Plato's wisdom offers a filter, a way to discern the signal from the noise by asking, what here has lasting value? What here points to a deeper, unchanging truth? The forms can be thought of as the perfect ideals that give structure to our understanding. When we strive for excellence in any endeavor, are we not, in a way, trying to embody the form of that excellence? The perfect execution, the ideal outcome. To unlock true knowledge requires a kind of intellectual discipline. It's the willingness to sit with difficult questions, to resist easy answers, and to engage in the Socratic method of questioning one's own assumptions. Plato believed education was about turning the soul towards the light, away from the shadows. This means cultivating habits of mind that seek clarity, coherence, and fundamental principles, rather than just accumulating superficial facts. The beauty of this philosophy is its empowerment. It suggests that the capacity for true knowledge is not exclusive to a gifted few, but inherent in every human soul, waiting to be awakened through reason and diligent inquiry. When you are next faced with a disagreement or a confusing situation, try to step back from the immediate emotional reactions. Ask, what are the core principles at stake here? What would the form of justice or the form of fairness suggest? This journey beyond senses and opinions is ultimately a journey towards a more authentic self, one that is less swayed by external turbulence and more anchored in an internal understanding of what is truly real and valuable. Plato's allegory is timeless because it speaks to a fundamental human yearning, the desire to understand, to know, to find meaning beyond the surface. It's an invitation to become an active seeker of wisdom in your own life. So let us carry this insight. True knowledge is an ongoing ascent, a commitment to reason, and a courageous look beyond the familiar. It is in this pursuit that we unlock not just understanding, but a deeper, more meaningful engagement with life itself.